I started my bikini prep journey on the 10th of January, and this is everything I've been doing and everything that has happened since then. I want to start by saying that I have never done anything like this before, and before starting my bikini prep, I've always been a pretty average gym goer. What I mean by that is that I would go to the gym, I know my exercises, I lift hard, but there was no like some sort of balance between working out and nutrition and exercise and like recovery and none of that. So I will lift heavy and I will say to myself that I'm prioritizing protein, but I will not have in consideration carbs, fats. There will be days that I will rest, there will be days that I won't rest, and I for sure can tell you I was like overdoing cardio because in my brain was like, okay, 10,000 steps and then 30 minutes of Stairmasters and this and that. So before than this, I would do what I thought it was right to do to burn calories, eat protein. So when I started with this, Charlie, my coach, mentioned something that has just stuck with me, and he said that that bodybuilding is about controlling all the variables. The variables are nutrition, training, and resting and recovery. I do add stress management until the resting and recovery. So what I've been doing these 6 weeks is managing and controlling all those variables. So the first variable is nutrition. Nutrition has been interesting, to say the least. I can confirm that during these last 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks more or less now, I've eaten the same thing every day, over and over, the same meals, and I've attempted to eat them at the same times, the same proportion of protein, fat, and carbs. There has been no variables in my diet since I started, and the only things I've added have been like hot sauce. So now I put hot sauce on my food, but apart from that, it's been eating the same over and over. I wasn't like worried that this was going to be a problem. Before starting this process, I was already like a person that more or less ate the same, like rice and chicken was my average thing anyway, so this has not like been very detrimental in my process. However, I can tell that now 6 weeks in, I still don't feel tired of it. Like I still don't feel like, oh my god, I can't not be dealing with this anymore. I don't feel like that, but I'm starting to be a point where I'm like, oh, I definitely could eat this, I definitely could eat that. There has been a huge shift in my mindset in terms of what food is. I see it now as like, it might not look great, but this is what you need. It might not be what you want to eat, but this is what's going to help with recovery. It might not be what you fancy, but this is what you need for muscle growth. So there's been a huge shift in my mindset regarding food, but the meals have been the same. My first meal is egg whites, egg and spinach. My second meal is chicken and veg. By the way, chicken can be turkey, can be tuna. So I chose chicken because I think is the one that's easier to cook, easier to get, easier to like, faster to cook as well, easier to like have and put and then microwave and eat. So I've chose chicken. So second meal is chicken and veg. Third meal is chicken and veg. Fourth meal, and it's my pre-workout meal, is oats, protein powder and berries. The days I train, I do also have an intra-workout drink while I'm training. And then I have my post-workout meal, which is oats, protein powder, and berries. And then I have another meal, which is rice, chicken, and veg. If I'm not training, if it's a rest day where I'm not going to the gym, that gets swapped by non-carb. So it's just rice, just chicken and veg. And then I also have like a little shake. I blend it because at that point it's easier for me to like have, which is Greek yogurt and casein powder and stuff. To be fair, this, when I started, it was meant to be cottage cheese, how you say cottage cheese, but I could not for the life of me deal with the texture of cottage cheese, so I changed it for Greek yogurt, and that is what I've been eating every day for the last 6 weeks. And to add on top of that, I drink 4 liters of water, which, funny enough, is not hard at all. Like, I probably drink more at the end of the day, having in consideration if I have teas and coffees and stuff like that. So far, I think it's doable. I don't want to cry yet about it. There's going to be some changes as soon as my body changes and as soon as I change from deficit to like something else, and there's a bit of shift in my working out, bit of shift in my body fat, bit of shift in my weight. This is about to change, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what else will be added, if quantities are changed, but as it stands right now, this is what I've been eating every day for the last 6 weeks. And I don't hate it. So far, I really don't hate it. Okay, next variable is exercise, which is a very important pillar of this whole project. Exercising has been okay. I think it's one of those things that I've not struggled because, as I said, I previously used to work out. So a lot of the exercises that I have now in my program are exercises that I used to do before, or that I'm used to, or that I know the technique pretty well. So I don't feel like they have been new and I needed to learn them. However, in these 6 weeks, the first week I took the time to like make sure that I knew the technique of this new exercise and all the old ones as well, to make sure that I was like actually doing it right. The way of training is completely different. Before, I used to always be stuck in these like 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. And in this new program, the way of training is different. I do have 2 warm-up sets, and the working sets are just 2. So I do, if it's a big muscle, I do warm up 2 or 3 times, and then I do 2 working sets, like lifting heavy and pushing myself harder and harder. I also can tell that compared to week 2 to now week 6, week 7, there is an increase on of the amount I can lift. I also don't know if this is because I'm getting stronger or because the mindset is, Amna, you need to push hard. Amna, you can do it, just push it harder. I've been keeping a log from day 1 of reps and weight. So now it comes to a point that when I see the last week I did, I don't know, 6 reps of whatever in this weight, the mindset is that I can't do less than that. Like if last week I did that, I need to at least get 1 more. And I think that's when you see the increase in your strength and in the better performance, and that you're pushing yourself harder because you have this thing that you compared yourself to. I also find myself, I'm in a point where sometimes I check the log from last week and I'm like, how did I do that? Because for the life of me, I can't do this today. And it's scary, but it's scary in a good way because I'm like, how did I do that last week? So that's exercise. Exercises are very repetitive. I have a split of 5 days. So I do lower day, which is more focused on hams and glutes. I do upper day then, which is shoulders, a little bit of everything on upper day. I do then lower day again, which is quads and glutes, another upper day, and then I do again a lower day, and that last lower day is a full of everything. So hamstring, glutes, quads. So it's been good. I did fear at the beginning that there was a lot of lower days and how I was going to recover from one lower day if I push myself the hardest to the second lower day. But there has not been no problem. I guess nutrition is helping, rest is helping, and all that good stuff make that I go from one session to the other feeling pretty recovered, pretty like, okay, I can do this. There is some soreness, which I think is pretty natural and it's meant to be, but it hasn't been one of those situations where I'm like, okay, I train legs the other day, I can't train legs again because I can barely move. So working out has been good. There has been an improvement on my technique. There's been improvement week by week on the amount of like weight I lift, on the amount of like reps I do, the technique, improving in my previous week's personal best into bringing new ones. And I have to say, like, I do feel that day by day I am getting stronger, and I think it's physically as well visible, which is very, very supportive and motivates you to carry on doing it. So I think the variable of like training is very much under control. Last variable to keep under control is rest, sleep, and stress control, stress management. In all fairness, like at the end of the day, after like the 10,000 steps, after the exercise, after eating all those meals, after working, after all that, I am extremely tired. Like I sleep absolutely fine every night. It's actually quite important how much stress was about me resting enough or me sleeping enough. And I was like, well, I can do that easily. I've always been very, very mindful that I am a person that needs at least 8 to 9 hours sleep a night, because otherwise I'm a horrible human being. So it was something I already had very mindfully under control before starting all this whole project. I'm very mindful beforehand that I know that muscle builds during recovery, during rest, during sleep. So I've always been very mindful about that. So sleeping has not been a problem whatsoever. Neither is rest. Like I am aware that if I live in this mindset of like constant productivity, constant doing, constant moving, it's not going to do me any good. So I'm very mindful of those things. So I keep in mind that. And in terms of like stress management, I think you need to have the attitude. Like I think this is an attitude thing where you are like, okay, let it go. This doesn't matter that much. This, can I control this? Can I not control this? Will this like be important in 6 months, in 3 months? Does this actually matter to me? And having a consideration the job I have, which is with people and talking to people, I can tell that there's been an improvement overall in my attitude in the last weeks in regards to this, where I'm like, okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Let's not think about it anymore. And I think that has a knock-on effect in my life in general, with everything, like outside of the fitness, outside of like bodybuilding, in everything, with my relationships, my personal relationships, with myself, with my friendships. So I think this has been like overall good in general for me. But sleep has been under control, recovery has been under control, and stress management, I think, is something is going to be there every day, every stage, 6 months in, 8 months in, 2 weeks in. So you just have to like find something that works for you, find the way you want to approach this, for yourself, and go from there. I know this has only been 6 weeks, but these 6 weeks have had an impact on me, have had an impact on what I am, the way I think, the way I see things, my social life, my work-life balance, internally my own little mental battles. So it has been important. It has had an effect on me, and I know this is 6 weeks, of a very long journey. So I'm excited to see what comes. I'm excited to share it. I'm excited to feel it. Like I remember telling my friends that I was going to start doing this, and a lot of my friends said, enjoy the process, like enjoy the getting ready, enjoy the struggle. And I am very excited to see what else is there for me, how this is going to develop, how months and weeks and are going to pass by, and how this is going to be changing me as I get close to get onto that stage. So stay tuned, subscribe to see more updates, and I'll see you in my next video.